HMAS Adelaide assisted the country in many ways, spending time in the Gulf War, assisting in peacekeeping operations, and being deployed in the Middle East. But when it came time to put the ship to rest at the bottom of the seafloor, it seemed to spark a whole new war in the small town of Avoca Beach. The No Ship Action Group made claims that were supported by various people, from medical officers to professional surfers. These claims sparked a huge conflict between those for the reef and those against it. Meeting with me now is Virginia Riley, head of the No Ship Action Group.
One flake of lead paint, lead-based paint, if consumed by a child, can cause neurological damage and lead poisoning. It's a highly toxic material, and 23,000 square metres was dumped here. PCBs stand for polychlorinated biphenyls. They're a chemical compound that was used widely in manufacturing. Over time, it was discovered they were a highly toxic carcinogen. There was still PCBs dumped, albeit below the acceptable limit according to their sampling. And also, as I said, a significant quantity of lead paint was dumped.
In 2011, there was a significant number of metal sheeting that washed up on shore.
It was actually the aluminium honeycomb in the internal partitioning of the ship, which really poses quite a dangerous risk to surfers and swimmers. Some of the pieces that washed up, one piece measured about 2 metres by 60 centimetres with large sort of sharp edges around it. Would have caused serious injury, especially to a child if someone had been hit as it washed through the surf zone. It's an act of environmental vandalism. Not only the lead paint, the PCBs, the thousands of tonnes of recyclable steel and aluminium, there was over a tonne of plastic in seating, railings. That was all dumped in the ocean. And I think in this day and age, when we all know how important it is to protect our oceans, they are choking in plastic. I'm so proud that we gave light to this situation.
So with these claims in mind, how does the local community feel about having an artificial dive site in their backyard?
Doesn't really worry me now.
Initially I was against it, but it hasn't caused the disruption that I thought it would cause.
It's good.
Yeah.
Brings tourists in.
Yeah, I think it's actually a positive thing for the coast. I think that it's brought tourism in, and I think it's also attracted a lot of wildlife and sea life out there.
Oh, I suppose it's not so bad as long as it doesn't affect the formation of the waves. It doesn't, destroy the marine life.
Now I've seen the wildlife, the bird life and the fish life out there. It seems pretty good, yeah.
It's an environmental hazard, whichever way you like to look at it. So sticking it into the ocean is not a bad idea, provided it's clean and stripped properly.
What was it like watching the progression of the reef over the last couple of years?
It's been terrific. When it first went down, it was stark. And then progressively, marine life started coming in. The first thing was algae started to grow over everything. It becomes slimy, and the fish started to turn up, the fish that would peck at that. I think the very first thing we saw in it was clutches of eggs laid by cuttlefish. It was quite interesting. Why they chose it, I don't know. Kingies started to appear on it. Barnacles started to grow on it. And it started to be treated more like a wreck, and the marine life is good, and the marine life is prolific. The wreck is looking like reefs around here would have looked like perhaps 200 years ago before we started fishing them. I think that's what you're looking at. It's a marine reserve, and I think the fish know they're on a marine reserve. I don't know how. Everybody's getting good photographs and so on. So it's just a beautiful dive to dive. The wreck looks great now, marine life all over it. It's covered in barnacles and so on. It's a terrific sight.
We just had our vision. We wanted to achieve our mission, which was to scuttle an ex-naval ship off the Central Coast to create an artificial reef and have a beautiful underwater natural habitat for growth, and that's exactly what we've got. They claimed that they were environmentalists, but we are the environmentalists creating a habitat that is safe for the fish and for people. The proof is in the pudding. What has not happened against their claims. There's been no erosion of the beach caused by the wreck. They even said that whales weren't going to come to Avoca anymore, and whales are clearly visible between the wreck and Avoca Beach, so in fact they're closer. All PCBs were taken off well before the No Ships group even started their campaign. Everything is as it should be. In fact, some figures have just been released now that contaminants are not even able to be measured against a normal scale. They're well below what would be considered safe. So all their claims have fallen literally into the ocean. One of their members was seen depositing the wreckage on the beach that morning. He claimed that he took it from the beach the night before and put it back there that morning. So we will never know whether it was from the Adelaide. I just think that we've got such a successful contribution to the Central Coast out there, where we're bringing people from certainly all over Australia, but from overseas as well, to come to the Central Coast just to see the Adelaide. And the people at Avoca don't even know that it's there, except that they get more whales now.